Welcome to another episode of the Lived and Learned channel, where one lived experience can provide the lesson that you've been waiting for. This is another episode I'd like to share with you. Several years ago, I was visiting Tel Aviv in Israel, and I was staying at a beachfront hotel facing the Mediterranean Sea. During breakfast, seated at the table next to me were at least a dozen U.S. military brass. I mean, colonels and majors and above, and according to the insignia and the medallions that were on their chest. As I sat there, I overheard them talking about a Marine that had recently been court-martialed for killing a civilian in the Middle East and Afghanistan, I believe it was. And during his trial, according to the colonels, the presiding judge began to scold this young soldier about military values and the high code of conduct that Marines are expected to live by. The judge said, if you see a Marine jaywalking even, you should call him out. If you see a Marine sleeping when he should be awake, you wake him up, the judge said. We live by a code that is above others, and there are just some things that we will not do. So as I sat there, I could no longer hold my peace and sit quietly at my table. And so I stood up and I walked over to the gentleman who recognized me as being from the States as well. And I apologized for disrupting their breakfast. And I literally asked permission to speak, and they politely gave me the floor. I pulled back the sleeve on my shirt, exposing a brown rubber band embossed with the words Romans 15:3 and CDDT. C is in Charlie, D is in Delta, D is in Delta, T is in Tom, CDDT. And I said, hey, Romans 15:3 says that the reproach that fell on thee fell on me. And I take that two ways that I want to share with you. The first way I said was, this was Paul, the apostle, who was stating that the same things that people were accusing Christ of were now being hurled at Paul. That's the statement, the reproach that fell on thee fell on me. The second way I took this scripture was, as an African American, whether I like it or not, when someone does something wrong that looks like me, we all get the blame or labeled. In other words, the reproach that fell on that victim also fell on me. And as a Christian and a leader of my family and co-workers, like the Marines, I follow a higher code of conduct. One mistake and whatever approach is placed on me may also get laid on those and the others that are around me. And that's where this band that I was wearing comes into play. I said, pointing to the brown colored band against my brown color skin, CDDT, one colonel said. Well, what does that mean? He said. And I said, whenever I think about doing something wrong, I look at my wrist and I see the words CDDT as a reminder that they're just some things that I should not do. And CDDT simply states Christians don't do that. CDDT. Well, the military brass thanked me for the lesson and the reminder that we all have to answer to a higher code of conduct. That was probably, 10 years ago, and I still wear the same band today to remind myself of things that I should and shouldn't do. Well, there you have it. Well, this Lived and Learned lesson was sponsored by the Is It Well app, where one touch can connect you to 5 of your most trusted family and friends just when you need them the most. So download yours today. It's either at the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. Is It Well? It will change your life. Take care now, and I'll talk to you again the next time on a lesson that I've lived and learned.